The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guards setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals continue on ESPN and ABC.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And here we are. It's Memorial Day, and it's important to understand, folks, that freedom is not free. To think that freedom is free is just an illusion. People have died for the rights that you and I have. Good morning. Dominic Carter here with you. Memorial Day 2026. The number to reach me this hour from around the country, 800-848-9222. Memorial Day, as we all know, it's a federal holiday today dedicated to honoring and mourning the military personnel who died while serving in the armed forces. So it's observed annually on the last Monday in May. It's marked traditionally, and you'll see this around the country, wherever you live at, not perhaps on the East Coast because a lot of rain here the last couple of days, but it's traditionally marked by community parades, gatherings, and it's also known as the unofficial start of the summer. But again, on the East Coast, I don't know about that. It's been rain for 3 days. So I'm going to start off. We see all your telephone calls, and I'm going to begin with some tweets. And the reason why I'm going to do that is, and then I'm going to mix things up. It's a holiday. And so we're going to take some of your telephone calls and get a little bit away from the format of what we normally follow and what we normally do. I'm also going to do something very disturbing. And I thought long and hard about this. But it's important. You know, there are people that said what happened October 7th in Israel, oh, it didn't happen to the degree that you said, the sexual assault. It didn't happen. It did happen. And I'm trying to mix things up because the first soundbite you will hear this hour is an Israeli witness who appeared on CNN recounting in very disturbing terms how Palestinian civilians laughed as they literally snatched a woman at random, pulling her out of a car, snatching her clothes off, and raped her repeatedly. You're going to hear this witness actually say what happened. And it's disturbing. And I thought about not using it. But I have an obligation to tell the truth. So looking at my Twitter, at my ex on this Memorial Day, the lovely Catherine Trunk. Catherine, hello to your lovely mom. Catherine says, certainly begs the question, how many times does a verifiable threat have to occur near the White House until the suspect is apprehended and detained? Catherine, capitalizing the word detained, the suspect had a prior record. President Trump needs better protection. Amen, Catherine. Again, regards to your mom. John Beckman says, I have compassion, but at this point, the so-called compassionate politicians and judges are getting us killed. You're 100% correct. He's referring to a comment that I made. Make mental institutions great again. It used to be a time in America when it was seen as the compassionate thing to do to lock people up that are mentally ill. And I say this as someone whose mother suffered from severe mental illness and for much of my young years was institutionalized from the state of Georgia to the state of New York at Pilgrim State, Rockland State, Bellevue, and on and on and on. That's my own mother. I don't understand why we've gone backwards and we're letting people that are mentally ill walk the streets. This man called himself, identified as God. This was not his first encounter at the White House before he was fatally shot. So let's see here. Before I get to the issue at hand, let me start with some of your telephone calls here. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out the best call to go with. Let's go with Barry, line 1, the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Barry, what's on your mind?
Hello.
Hello, go ahead, Barry.
Okay, it's actually Bobby. I'm on the Upper West Side.
Okay, well, it does say Upper West Side. I made a mistake, but it says Barry. I apologize. Please get to the point.
Yes. My uncles were in World War II, and they were such wonderful people. They made it out alive. And they contributed to our country. And now I see all of this crazy stuff, and our mayor is not helping. Our mayor is not helping.
So when you say
Dominic,
when you say you see all this crazy stuff, Bobby, what are you referring to?
I mean, like he's demeaning the cops. The cops that I see, I live at 1 block from 96 and Broadway. So you know where 96 and Broadway is, right?
Yes,
so,
Bobby, please get to the point. Please, I'm short on time. Get to the point.
Mayor is not helping our cops. They're not. I see them. I see that every day. And Dominic, it's not like when you and I grew up. Okay, night.
Okay, thank you. I was listening to you intently, and I agree with you. Things are not the way that they used to be, Bobby. Thank you. We've got your name corrected now on my computer screen. I do apologize for that. Okay, we see all of your other calls, but let's get to it. The situation of one woman, one story from October 7th. Now, as you're listening to this, I want you to think that this could have been your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your cousin, to be brutally raped by a group of men laughing and then murdered. This is a witness that saw this encounter, and the men laughed about it, and the witness appeared on CNN.
They started to pull her clothes off. It was like a half a circle, and the girl was in the middle of the circle. And after they pulled the clothes off of the girl, they started to one of them started to rape her. And it was something like a 30 seconds. And after he raped her, he take a knife and kill her, murder her. And after he did it, he continued to rape the dead body.
What was the attitude of this group while they were doing this? Were they angry? Were they cursing? What were they doing?
They don't was angry. They always laugh. I think it was for fun. They murdered a lot of people for fun. They always laugh.
What did they do after they raped her? and killed her. And what did they do after that?
They started to run after one couple, boy and a girl, that they saw, and they murdered them too.
With knives?
With a knife and the axes.
So, and part of it we left out because it gets to be a bit much. I want you to think about that. This is one of the reasons why I side with the Israeli people. Imagine that could have been your mother, your sister, your grandmother, perhaps your great-grandmother. And after done raping her, ripping her clothes off and having sex with her, killing her, and then having sex with her again. These are the types of people that we're talking about. These are the types of people that in cities like New York and perhaps in your city, where people are protesting on their behalf, saying disgusting things like from the river to the sea, right? It happened just hours ago at JFK Airport here in New York. These are the things that are happening. Yes, it's Memorial Day, and we're going to get to a lot more this hour, but let's go to some of your more calls, some of your additional calls. 800-848-9222. Ruben, line 1, Brooklyn, New York. What's on your mind, Ruben?
Hey, how are you, Dominic? Well, happy Memorial Day. I wish you all the best. I just want to touch on some things with the October 7th issue that you brought up. I have family in Israel, and I myself, I'm an immigrant from the former Soviet Union. And when you talked about the Jews that were siding with Mabdani, they don't represent, in my opinion, the vast majority of the Jews that migrated and left, oppression under the Soviet Union and other countries. Because, if you look at the Middle East, Israel is the only real democracy that mirrors anything that's close to America, where you have people of all denominations, creeds, colors, sexes, that live together in harmony. And for the fact that these people don't even understand that, these people, I mean, the people protesting in New York streets, Chicago, and all over America, shows how disillusioned they are. And the propaganda game with Hamas, Iran, and all these other proxies is actually winning. Americans kind of need to wake up because, going against countries like Israel, for instance, is essentially going against America. Because in reality, it's the only country that, shares our values that's in the Middle East. I mean, Europe is pretty much far gone. And, it's really sad to see where truth is being convoluted. My parents, when they see what's going on in the streets right now, they're shocked. They ran away from this in the Soviet Union. They literally fled with nothing in their pockets, and they made a life out of themselves and for their kids over here. And to see this is just, it's disheartening. It really is. What do you think about
Ruben, I couldn't have said it better. Thank you for the wonderful call. Greatly appreciated. It is disheartening to see what's going on. I've got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to jump head first into what happened this weekend at the White House. We're coming right back.